Cannons of the USS Hartford. The cannons located before you were decommissioned from the deck of one of the most famous ships of the Civil War, the USS Hartford. The USS Hartford was a steam and sail sloop of war launched at the Boston Navy Yard on November 22, 1858, at the cost of $502,650. Originally, she had a battery of 18 guns with 302 men and officers. After duty in the East Indies, she returned to the United States on December 2, 1861, to become the flagship of Rear Admiral Farragut. The Hartford participated in many of the major naval engagements of the Civil War, including the Battle of New Orleans, Port Hudson, Vicksburg, and Mobile. The Hartford was decommissioned on January 14, 1887, to be used as a training ship in the Pacific and Atlantic. The list of damage and casualties during the Civil War consisted of hit 20 times, 25 men killed, and 28 wounded with no prisoners taken. Captain of the Hartford was Captain Percival Drayton. In spite of all her glories in battle and in helping to bring the Civil War to an end, in 1956 she sank and was torn apart for salvage. Rear Admiral David G. Farragut and the Battle of Mobile Bay. In 1864, Mobile, Alabama, was the last important port of the Confederacy on the Gulf of Mexico. The Battle of Mobile Bay occurred in the lower part of the bay on the morning of August 5, 1864, between Union and Confederate warships. The Union fleet, commanded by Rear Admiral David G. Farragut, included 14 wooden gunboats and 4 monitors. The Confederate fleet, commanded by Admiral Franklin Buchanan, consisted of 3 wooden gunboats and the ironclad Tennessee. To engage the Confederates, the Union ships had to pass through the main shipping channel just a few hundred yards from the big guns of Fort Morgan. The Confederate troops drove wooden pilings into the bottom of the bay, narrowing the entrance. In the main shipping channel, they put underwater mines, called torpedoes, made of whiskey barrels filled with gunpowder. While Farragut and his ships were under fire from the fort, his leading gunboat struck a mine and sank. Farragut ordered his flagship, the USS Hartford, to lead the main column of ships across the minefields. His famous order was reported to have been, "Damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead." The guns that won the Civil War. During the Civil War and after the Battle of Mobile Bay, naval historians called this gun the 9-inch Dahlgren, quote, the gun that won the Civil War, quote. The term 9-inch refers to the diameter of the muzzle and size of the ammunition the Dahlgren could fire. Shooting this cannon took 16 crew members, consisting of an officer, loaders, rammers, spongers, and tacklemen. Aiming such a large gun from the deck of a ship took practice. Guns were often fired at the instant the roll of the ship brought the target into line. The large metal loops on the cannon were for the strong ropes used for running the guns out to their firing positions and checking the length of the recoil when the gun was fired. The iron Marseille carriage the guns are mounted to are much more durable than the wooden carriage used prior to the Civil War. Wooden carriages, probably made of elm, would splinter if hit during battle. Wounds from wood splinters were serious and even fatal to the gun's crews. Our cannons. Appropriately, the 3 Dahlgren guns faced the waters of the Straits of Mackinac. Each cannon weighs approximately 9,300 pounds, 2 or 3 times the weight of a car. On the end of the right trunnion is the date the cannon was cast, that is, 1863. The left trunnion is a letter P for proved with the inspector's initials, for example, WRT for William Rogers Taylor. Prior to John Dahlgren's guns, which were cast and bored in the mid-1800s, crews felt the threat of guns bursting while firing. It was almost as dangerous to shoot as to be shot at. No Dahlgren gun, not the 9-inch or the 15-inch, ever burst, even when fired with a full charge. By the end of the Civil War, a battery of 26 9-inch Dahlgrens lined the main deck of the USS Hartford. Our cannons are believed to have been moved here in the winter of 1904 and 05 from Mare Island Navy Yard in California. Congressman George Loud and City of Petoskey Postmaster James Buckley are credited with obtaining these guns for Michigan. The cannons were probably moved here by railroad. These cannons are memorials to all the fighting men and women who served our country. Farragut's words were appropriate. Quote, "The best gun and the best vessel should certainly be chosen, but the victory, 3 times out of 4, depend upon those who fight them." Unquote.